In some way or another, I guess I've gotten used to the brightness of my room these last few mornings. I must admit, contrary to how I felt in the past, it really is nice waking up to warm sunlight. In fact, it's so nice that I may have even stopped hating the idea of waking up early. But today, that may have changed. Uh-oh. What the heck? I opened my eyes to something horrific. What did you do? I sure hope that's jam. I standing in the corner of the room, bleeding. Okay, it's definitely blood. Man. Her t-shirt is stained with crimson blotches, sporadically positioned on both her clothing and the floor. She stares at me in a disturbingly complacent manner. I'm too shocked to get a grip on the situation. Instead of trying to piece it together, I call out to her. What's going on? She simply stares back without saying a word before turning and darting to the bathroom. In a fit of panic, I spring from my bed and follow her in.
Well, I can't say that was how I planned on starting my morning.
What did you do? That was absolutely terrifying, I've never seen a nosebleed that bad before. Are you sure that's all that happened?
Yes, I'm sure. For the millionth time, I just fell out of bed. That's all. Nothing less, nothing more.
What's going on? Man, you don't see something like that and just say, oh, you just fell out of bed. Either way, you nearly gave me a heart attack. Why the heck would you think that just staring back at me was an acceptable action in that situation? That was like a scene from some high-budget horror film.
I'm sorry. I was just confused. I've never had to deal with blood before.
How did you... What? You created a body for yourself and you didn't know about blood? Oh my god. I don't get this chick. Something bad's happening. I sure hope that was just nosebleed. I hope that was all that was. Maybe we should invest in a seatbelt or something to strap you down so you can't fall out of bed anymore.
Oh, I didn't know you were into that kind of stuff, Jung.
Whoa. I didn't even know you knew about that stuff, Okay, you're starting to have a dirty mind. Oh, shut up.
So what time are you meeting up with Toshi?
Not sure. Probably sometime in the afternoon.
Cool. That gives us time to hang out with Yume.
How did I know you were going to say that? Things like this have become inevitable. Refusing the eye never works, so I just give in most of the time. And just like that, we get dressed and head outside. The bright light from the sun doesn't bother me the way it used to. Just like when I'm waking up, the rays actually make me feel a little bit, I don't know, comfortable. Pair this with the gentle breeze of the wind and you actually have an interesting combination of feelings. I think I'm beginning to understand what people mean when they say, "It's such a lovely day." But even with how nice it is outside, I'm having a hard time forgetting about the scene from this morning. Nosebleeds and health issues in general aren't really things I was expecting to see from Ai. At least not in her first week as a human. I guess it makes sense though, considering her body is modeled after a real... Wait. Since Ai's body is a complete replica of a human female, does that mean she... Oh no. A dark cloud is suddenly seen looming over the horizon. We eventually... What did that mean? What does that mean? I don't... Wait, mate, was he thinking about... I'll worry about it later. We eventually arrive at the bakery. I don't think that I told Yume we planned on hanging out here this morning, but I think it's safe to assume that she knew we were coming. After tending to a few customers, Yume sits down at our table and joins us for breakfast.
So, what are you guys up to today?
Just hanging out for now. We're going to a friend's house later, so I needed to get my daily dose of Yume in now before it's too late.
Aw, you flatter me. What friend are you hanging out with later?
Just some guy. Apparently, Jung is going to help him program a robot.
Really?
It's nothing huge. He just doesn't know how to code very well. I figured I could help him out.
Do you want to come, Yume?
What?
Sure, I'd love to.
Wait, you can't just invite people over to someone else's house without letting them know first.
It's fine. He needs a programmer, and the three of us are the best ones around. I doubt he would complain about something like that.
I'll help as much as I can. I'm sorry, Jung, but there is no way I could possibly turn down something like this.
Right. Yume has never worked on a robot before, but is it really okay to bring her along? We spend the rest of breakfast chatting about random things. I'm still waiting for a good opportunity to approach Yume about Ai's situation. Yume eventually gets up to go help a customer, and Ai seizes the opportunity to visit the restroom. Oh yeah, I forgot. When did she learn how to use the restroom?
BRB.
Here's my chance. As soon as Ai disappears around the corner, Yume comes back to the table and sits down. Hey, Yume. So I wanted to ask you about something a bit out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
It's about Ai.
I see. What about her?
Well, her body is a perfect replica of an actual human female. And I was just wondering if you could ask her about that thing.
That thing?
You know what I mean. The period. You know. That monthly girly thing.
Ah. You haven't talked to her?
How am I supposed to know what it is? I didn't know what it is. Does I even know about that stuff? Oh god, this is just awful. Yeah. How the heck am I supposed to do that? Can't you feel this one? I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole.
I guess you're right. Sure, I don't mind. Good call, by the way. Totally forgot that was even a thing that was going to happen.
Me too. Until she went and bled all over my apartment this morning.
Wait, what? What happened?
I think she fell out of bed and hit her nose on the floor or something. I just woke up and saw her dripping blood all over the place.
You'd think robots would have a failsafe for something like that, wouldn't you? Either way, there's definitely a lot I don't understand about Ai's body.
No kidding.
When was it made again?
She started working on it about a week ago, so not long.
Let's assume that her bodily functions started fresh at that time. That would mean her cycle would normally be another couple weeks or so. But it's not like there's a set date or anything. All girls' bodies are different and...
Yume, please stop.
Oh, you're no fun. Why don't I just go ask her right now while she's in the bathroom?
Good idea. Yume gets up to go meet Ai. After several minutes, they come back to the table. Ai is noticeably different than she was a few minutes ago. She seems unusually quiet and mousy. Yume just smiles at me. What the heck did she do?
So, we might need to go shopping soon.
Oh no. Do we have to buy the, those girly wing thingies? I don't know what are those things called? The tampons? Yeah. I don't know. That's all she has to say for me to figure out what happened. I guess I really wasn't fully aware of the female body's mysteries upon coming into this world. How do you make a body that has the... I don't get it. How does she not know about this? How do you make a body and not know about the period? Hopefully Yume was right about the whole couple weeks thing, and that this problem stays out of my hands for the rest of forever. As soon as normal conversation starts back up, I slowly starts reverting back to her cheerful, noisy self. Eventually I decide to text Toshi about heading over. He also seems fine with Yume coming over as well. That being said, Yume goes up to her parents before we leave and informs them of where she will be headed. After we clean up our table, we leave the bakery. His house is a bit further from the bakery than my apartment. He lives on the outskirts of town, far away from any convenience stores or amenities. As much as I love walking, I definitely would not want to live this far away from everything. Though, due to his line of work, it makes sense that he would choose a neighborhood where he won't disturb anyone. Upon our arrival, Toshi greets us and lets us into his workshop. It smells like rust and scrap metal. Can't really say I'm a fan.
Sorry for the mess. I was just finishing something.
Whoa! This place is neat.
Glad you like it.
Oh, this is Yume, by the way. She's almost as good a programmer as Jung.
Hey, Yume. Name's Toshi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Toshi. Jung told me about what you guys were doing today, and I may have freaked out a little. Robots have always been so fascinating to me.
Well, you've definitely come to the right place then. I'm just glad I have 2 competent programmers to help me code this.
3 actually.
Make that 3.
Yume is more than enough to help you with your project.
Is that so?
Just tell me what you need done.
Wow, you really are into this, aren't you? I'll show you what I need done in a second. Hi, Jung. Do you guys want some snacks or something while we're working?
No thanks. We actually just ate before coming here. Do you have any spare materials laying around? I kind of want to try mimicking what you guys are doing.
You can use pretty much anything you find scattered around the workshop. Feel free to just grab whatever. Say, you guys up for a little competition? Maybe see who can make a robot the fastest?
Oh, that she'll win.
That's probably an impossible task for us, but let's give it our best.
Toshi, unaware of Ai's origin, takes that as a joke and plays along.
Alright, Jung, you're on my team. Let's smash those 2 posers. I will never live this down if we don't.
Team. Ai is just as determined as always. I nod at her despite having absolutely no intention of helping whatsoever. As long as I keep her occupied and entertained, she won't notice that she's doing everything. All I need to do is say something interesting every now and then. Piece of cake. Toshi gives us work suits to get changed. After the tables and tools are all set up, the competition kicks off. Oh wow, I haven't seen this picture. That's nice. Toshi shows off his completed work to Yume, who is visibly impressed. From here it looks relatively small, but probably about knee-high. It has a helmet-like head, a bulky body, big round joints, and everything else that robots typically require, I guess. It's the kind of design you'd see in classic mech movies. He even already integrated a microcontroller inside that they can connect to a laptop and program. It's definitely well made, but I don't think I'd go as far as calling it original. They discuss a few features and functions they want to add to the robot at a later date. From what I can tell, most of them seem to be related to AI programming. Toshi mentions things like computer vision, language processing, and other big topics in the tech world. Yume being Yume is awestruck by the entire situation. It's clear that Toshi is definitely looking to make something groundbreaking, but of course things like that take time, and this competition will be ending soon. On the other side of things, Ai seems completely disinterested in what the other two are doing. She has all her tools and materials out, but it doesn't look like she has any idea of what she actually wants to make with them. If she's really trying to have a showdown with Toshi and Yume, she's going to have to get the ball rolling soon. Even if she doesn't fully replicate another human body, she might be able to recreate some of the gadgets she threw away. It looks like I might finally have at least somewhat of a chance to figure out how she made her own body. You could just ask her. A few minutes later, Toshi's robot starts to move. It's a bit stiff, but it can perform some normal functions as far as I can tell. After teaching Toshi a few basic codes, Yume works on creating several complicated algorithms that will allow the robot to process images and sounds thanks to its internal microphone and CMOS sensors. While I'm confident in my ability to do this as well, I'm still amazed by Yume's speed. In fact, she might even be faster than me. Meanwhile, Ai has been playing around with a few metal pipes, wires, and electrical tape. She manages to connect two of the pipes with a ball joint in the middle, probably some kind of arm or leg. I'm reminded of the mechanical arm she uses way back when to perform tasks like this, and I decide to pay close attention, at least for now. 4 hours pass, and both teams are ready to show off their work. Even though my job wasn't anything more than providing moral support for Ai, I can't help but feel a little proud. Team Toshi's robot is able to perform a few basic actions like walking and grabbing. It seems like Yume added voice recognition and optics as well, considering the robot is able to detect where it is in order to get around safely. It's not a groundbreaking product by any means, but it's still amazing that they managed to make something like this within the short time they were given. It's apparent that Toshi has learned a lot from Yume, which I guess was the purpose of this visit in the first place. The two of them make a surprisingly good team. It turned out great, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
I'll be a much bigger help next time, I swear. I learned a lot today.
What are you talking about? You were great! I couldn't have done it without you.
Ai adds a few finishing touches to our robot.
Hey, check out mine now.
It's definitely a thing. Team Ai's robot has a dark, rounded object the size of a tennis ball in between two long metal pipes extended on an angle. What is this supposed to be? A boomerang?
No, it's a running robot.
Oh. I see. What does it do? Well, I assume running.
It runs.
Impressive. She places the robot down with its metal pipes touching the floor. With the flick of a switch, it throws one of the pipes around it until it touches the other side, executing that same action over and over again. I don't know if running is the right word to describe this performance. It seems more like one of those toys with the rings that you would put on the stairs and they would kind of just slowly traverse down them. Just as it is about to hit the wall, the robot stops for a fraction of a second and starts heading in the opposite direction. I guess I installed some kind of sensors inside the ball. Okay, that's another thing. I guess I installed some kind of sensors inside the ball joint that allowed for distance detection or something. She attempts to grab the run bot to turn it off, but it registers her hand as an obstacle and starts running away.
Ah, no, wait, I'm not a wall.
The robot continues to sprint around the room while the four of us frantically try to catch up to it. Eventually, Toshi is able to sneak up on it and turn it off. Never turn that thing on again.
Fine.
Why would you even make that? What happened to wanting to beat them?
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, I did beat them. In a race.
Ha ha ha, funny. Toshi and Yume burst into laughter.
Well, it's definitely better than what we did.
I agree. It's simple, yet complex at the same time. Creating something like that completely slipped my mind. I is the winner, hands down. So, how did you do it? Infrared sensor and photo transistors?
Hold on. Are you really admitting defeat to that thing?
That's exactly how I did it. Cool, right?
Super cool. I can't believe you programmed it with just circuits alone. That's insane. I'm very impressed. You really have a knack for this, don't you?
She really does. Great job, I.
Guys, it literally just runs. That's all it does. We spend the next few minutes playing around with the two robots, exchanging ideas and fooling around in general. But with Toshi's robot finished, our job here is done and it's time for us to go.
Hey, Toshi, can I grab a drink before I go? All of this robot stuff makes me thirsty.
Yeah, sure. There's some water in the fridge. Help yourself.
I'll come with you.
I and Yume head inside the main house, leaving Toshi and I alone in the workshop.
Oh, before I forget, thank you for coming today. You were a huge help.
You should really thank Yume. I kind of just watched.
But if it weren't for you, she never would have come. I too.
Yeah, even if her robot was a bit underwhelming.
I don't think so. And honestly, it would probably sell better than mine and Yume's.
You think so?
Of course. It's fun, isn't it?
I guess it would make a cool cat toy or something. Your robot has so much more potential though. Just a few improvements and it could be phenomenal.
Thanks, man. I'll definitely try. I'm pretty satisfied with what I already have, though, to tell you the truth. It's not like I'm trying to make a business out of it or anything. It's just a fun little project I wanted to do on the side. I was actually starting to worry that I might be losing interest in it, but you guys changed that.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I had a lot of fun today. And thanks to all of you, I know that I need to see this through to the end.
Well, if you need any help in the future, just let me know.
Agreed.
They come back to the workshop.
And if I ever want to make another robot, I'll let you know.
I'll be here.
And hopefully the next robot I decides to make is one we can actually catch.
Aw, where's the fun in that?
Anyway, we need to get going. See you next time, man.
Yeah. Take care, you three. Thanks for your help.
We leave Toshi's place with I still clinging to her robot.
You really like that thing, don't you?
Heck yes, I like it. If I didn't like my own creations, who would?
That's actually a pretty nice attitude. Did you hear that, Jung?
Nope. I promised myself I would no longer be involved with that sorry excuse for a robot.
Oh, lighten up. So, what's the next thing you're planning on making, I?
Don't know. I'm thinking of doing something similar to this one. But instead of running, it will walk. Kind of like a spider.
Spider.
I think I might actually have to kill you if you carry through with that. Can't you make something cute instead?
Spiders are cute. It would act like a real one as well, and like do spider stuff or something.
That does it. Consider this friendship over.
What? Why?
How about you, Yume? Thinking of making your own robot now?
I am pretty interested, to tell you the truth, but I still have a long way to go in terms of automation and whatnot. So I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
What you did with Toshi's robot was really cool. If you keep up this pace, you might even be able to make something that passes the Turing test.
Maybe, but not the Chinese room.
You shouldn't worry about that. If it works, it works.
Wait, Chinese room? What's that?
Yume and I glanced over at I, not really knowing where to start. I'm surprised she hasn't already heard of the experiment.
Let's see. The Chinese room was an argument proposed by an American philosopher to challenge our understanding of strong artificial intelligence. Its argument clashes with the Turing test in a variety of ways.
Yeah, I know about the Turing test, but I'm still not getting this whole Chinese room thing.
Well, to simplify it, imagine a room filled with Chinese writings and art, but the person inside does not understand Chinese. In theory, that person could study those Chinese symbols and manipulate what they learned and even attempt to write in the language itself. So technically, that person wouldn't exactly understand the language, but they might be able to convince others they do.
I think I get the gist of it. But how does that correlate to your robot?
Because even if I took the robot I made with Toshi, the most I would be able to do is have it imitate a person's action and speech. It wouldn't actually be an intelligent being.
Don't sweat it. What you already have is a great foundation regardless.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do it, Yume.
Thanks, guys. I'll try. Oh, by the way, what time are we meeting up tomorrow?
We're meeting up tomorrow?
Around 11, I guess.
What are we doing? What is tomorrow? Why is this happening? Oh, the beach?
The beach.
Oh, the beach. Curse the beach. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the beach. It's boring. Oh, right. I was completely disinterested, so I wound up forgetting. My bad.
Isn't that the case for pretty much everything I wants to do, though?
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair assumption. We arrive back at the apartment and part ways with Yume. The room seems unusually quiet when we step inside. I'm hungry. You want something to eat?
Yes, please. I'm starving.
Hey, what's the point of stockpiling all of this food if we're just going to keep leaving the house every day? Ai ignores me and trots over to the computer. I guess she's going to work on some project or something while I get dinner ready. She doesn't look upset or anything, but she seems quiet. So much so that I'm having a hard time seeing her as herself. Maybe something is bugging her. I continue to observe her while I prepare the food for us. There are some ingredients from the night before left out. So instead of putting those away immediately, I salvage what I can. As much as I want to ask Ai what's going on, I'm having a hard time breaking the ice. I wonder why. I guess if it's really important, she'll just open up to me later. I bring the food out to the table and set up a couple plates and silverware. Dinner's ready, Ai. Ai moves from the computer chair to the floor and we begin to dig in. The room remains silent. The only sounds that can be heard are the buzzing of the computer and the clinking of silverware. I need to start a conversation or something. So, doing projects tonight? She nods. We should probably start packing for tomorrow. Are you excited? I know you've always wanted to go to the beach. She nods. This clearly isn't working. I give up on trying to make conversation and finish eating. I want to get Ai back to her normal self, but I just don't know what to do.
Do you...
She finally starts to speak as soon as I stand up.
Do you think I'm fake?
What? I act like I don't understand what she means, but I do. I understand completely. I wants to know whether I consider her a real human being or not. And to be frank, I don't think I do. Obviously, I can't just come out and say that, though. What do you mean? She hugs her knees as if she's trying to defend herself from what I might say.
Do you think I'm just imitating you right now? That I'm not really an intelligent being and I'm just acting like one?
Is this about the Chinese room thing?
It's true though, right? I'm programmed to learn, but all of that's just an algorithm. None of it is real. I just imitate what's around me. What you say, what you think, what you feel, none of it is real.
She stares straight into my eyes as if one wrong word from me will snap her in half. I don't know. This has been bugging me for a while too. Am I actually responsible for the creation of another intelligent being? Or did I simply create an algorithm so advanced that I gave up on trying to solve it under the guise of it being intelligent? Science would dictate that the latter is true, but there's something about you that makes it hard to see it that way. Unsatisfied with my answer, she closes her head between her legs. Listen, it doesn't matter what I think.
Of course it does.
Even though her voice sounds so quiet and so broken, it reverberates off all four walls in the room. If you want to get technical, everything children do is a direct imitation of other human beings. Without people to learn from, they just exist. You're no different from that. Imitation is a sign of intelligence, and in other words, it's a sign of life. That's why I told Yume not to worry about the Chinese room. I remained silent despite my efforts to quell her unease. Look, even humans sometimes think that everything is fake. All of us question our existence at one point. I am no exception. What if everything I've experienced up until now has just been a dream? Maybe we're just lying to ourselves and this is all one big fantasy. And maybe one day we'll all wake up and we'll all be someone else. No one knows what being human really is, the same way no one knows what life really is. But one day, a man stood up and said that just being able to think is proof enough that you exist. That's applicable to you too. If your existence isn't enough to prove that you're real, I don't know what else is. I nods. Her head is still trapped between her legs, so I can't make out how she feels right now. But I felt like my answer was somehow able to calm her. This is a hard topic to discuss. I doubt anyone in the world would be able to tell her what she really wanted to hear. Are you okay now?
Yeah, I think so.
If you think you're alive, then live your life. Don't let me or anyone else tell you otherwise. You're going to waste away what little time you have if you spend all of it worrying. And if you ever feel sad or confused again, don't hesitate to talk to me. She slowly removes her head from its resting place between her knees and smiles.
Who told you I'm sad?
Oh, come on, don't lie to yourself. You were basically crying just a few seconds ago. I think. I couldn't really see your face.
Who, me? No, sir. I was just thinking. That's all.
Well, whatever. Start packing for tomorrow and get some rest. It's going to be a long day.
Sure, just let me finish a few things.
Alright. I goes back to working on her projects while I clear off the table and do the dishes. She still seems busy when I'm done tidying the place up, so I turn off the lights and head to sleep.